But joy is your natural state of being. But you have simply forgotten what being natural is. Being within your true nature is. And understand, and welcome dear ones, come sit right in the front. Understand that everything is in constant change, in constant expansion. That you are not the same being in any split second that you sit here, for things are happening within you. Invisible forces, invisible energies are consistently moving around within you and moving around outside of you. And when you decide to hang on to struggle, to strain, to stress, to worry, you actually stop the divine current of life, of love itself, moving freely through your being. Now, here is the thing. What you believe, you create. Beginning and end of story. And we are here to tell you, in fact, that all thought is false. Now, your minds will not like to hear this, for your minds believe they are real. And yes, they are real in this dimension. But what you call your mind and what you call your consciousness are completely different beings. Your mind is a product of this plane of consciousness. Your ego is a product of this plane of consciousness. But your consciousness is beyond the mind, beyond the ego. So we need to get your minds in a good space, a peaceful, calm space, before we can even begin to assist you to initiate yourselves into what we term the supernova of your consciousness. For it is there. It is simply waiting for your belief in it and your recognition of it. All right, we are going back to the beginning. When you came to this plane of consciousness, you created what you call an ego mind and what we call an EGO, an experimental God order. This allows you, as the gods that you are, to experience and experiment with the tool called thought. Because thoughts are tools. They can be destructive or they can be creative. But your thoughts are not who you are. So let us call you the carpenter of life, as symbolically Jesus was the carpenter in this life. And the carpenter has tools that he can either create magnificent things with or destroy things with. You see what we say? So you are the carpenters, and your tools, or one of your tools, is thought. Now, have you not been beating yourselves up with your own tools? You see what we say? Have you not been stabbing yourselves in the heart, in the head, in the body, in the relationships with these tools? It has been quite a destructive phase, but it has been a necessary one, for it is showing you that when you believe you are your tools, which are an extension of yourself, you lose sight of the true self. So many have believed, and what is that term? Why do you call people a tool? Can anybody tell us? You see, truth is trying to reach you in every possible way it can. Now, in fact, and we say this with love, you have all been tools. Because you have believed your thoughts to be real. And laugh about it. Stop suffering about it. Because you have been apprentice carpenters. Finding out the hard way, struggling with that block of wood called life, trying to carve it into something precious and beautiful. And yes, you have all botched it up. So you believe. We see these blocks of wood that you have crafted, that you call your lives, as extraordinary and unique, exquisite and raw, perfect and creative even in the destruction. So what we are asking you to do is to put your tools down, to stop all activity, and come back to the carpenter, the creator of this existence that you are experiencing. Because your thoughts, your tools are getting blunt. They're getting rusty. And they are not going to produce in any form the divinity that you are now. You have worn the tools out. You are exhausted from your own thoughts. You see what we say. So back at the beginning was the thought. In your Bible it says in the beginning was the Word. But where do words come from? Thoughts. So we take it back beyond the word, because what you are trying to express in word is unexpressible in word. What you are trying to feel in your heart cannot be felt through your thoughts. As we have said, you cannot think love. You can only feel it. And there have been many thoughts placed upon canvas, upon poetry, upon song, trying to get to the core of what cannot be sung, what cannot be painted, and cannot be thought. Cannot be written, in fact. So, here we have thought. Here we have this other tool called time. Now, time was invented to try and put some order and control into what you began to believe was chaos through wrong thoughts. And if you were true to your time, you in fact are not in 2012, because you have taken your true, pure timepiece called your solar system, called your moon, your sun and your stars, called your seasons, and have controlled them and tried to corrupt them. So we start with thought, you add time, and bingo, we have egos. Because egos believe they are separate from the oneness of consciousness. Ego needs a reference point, and ego is perfect, ego is divine, for it allows you to experience yourself as a unique aspect of God. But that is all it was meant for. It was not meant to be controlled, to be better than any other ego, less than any other ego, in fact. You see what we say?